Aisha, keeping her ears close to the window and opened, she heard Lizzie pleading, saying,
"I'm sorry, sir. Don't do this, sir. Please."
She then heard a loud scream. At Sunrise High School, Principal SiKiRU was a man both feared and respected.
The principal is coming.
His reputation for strict discipline and academic excellence made him a well-known figure in the community. But there was a secret buried beneath his polished exterior, one that no one dared to speak about openly. Every day, from 2 p.m. until closing time at 3 p.m., his office was off limits. No teacher, no student, not even the vice principal was allowed to disturb him. If anyone knocked on his door, he would emerge furious, demanding to know why they had disrespected his private working hour. Over time, the staff and students simply accepted this as one of his eccentricities. But behind the locked doors of his office, something far more sinister was happening. Mr. SiKiRU used that hour to prey on vulnerable students, girls, and sometimes even boys, whom he had carefully groomed through threats, promises, or manipulation. Some left his office in tears, others in eerie silence. The ones who tried to speak out were either expelled on fabricated charges or found their families too afraid to challenge the powerful man who controlled their education. Rumors began to spread, but they remained just that, rumors, until Aisha, a bright and courageous final-year student, decided she had had enough.
No!
Aisha had seen the look of fear on the faces of some of her friends after their meetings with Mr. SiKiRU. One of her closest friends, Bola, had suddenly dropped out of school without explanation. Another girl, Favor, had become withdrawn and refused to speak about what had happened in the principal's office. One day, during this period Mr. SiKiRU uses to prey on his victims, Aisha sneaked out of her class when she saw her junior female student Lizzie walk towards Mr. SiKiRU's office. She quickly hid beside a window at the back of the office. Aisha, keeping her ears close to the window and opened, she heard Lizzie pleading, saying,
"I'm sorry, sir. Don't do this, sir. Please."
She then heard a loud scream. Afterwards, moaning cries followed. This incident lasted for some minutes. She then heard Mr. SiKiRU's voice saying, "All you need to do is cooperate or else you would be expelled." A few minutes later, Lizzie was seen leaving the office trying to weep her tears off, pretending nothing happened. Aisha, on the other hand, was still confused and was unsure of what had happened despite seeing bruises on Lizzie's arm. Aisha confronted Lizzie, told her she saw her leaving Mr. SiKiRU's office with tears. "What happened?" Aisha asked. Lizzie couldn't find a voice to put in words what had happened. "Nothing," she said. She left Aisha with no words. She was scared and confused. Aisha, along with her best friend Daniel, decided to uncover the truth. They devised a plan to secretly record whatever happened in that office. With the help of a sympathetic teacher, Mr. Ade, who had also suspected something was wrong but lacked evidence, they managed to acquire a tiny recording device. One afternoon, Aisha volunteered to be summoned by Mr. SiKiRU. She made sure to appear vulnerable, pretending she needed help with her final exams. As expected, he invited her to his office right at 2 p.m. Hidden in her school bag was the recording device. The moment she stepped into his office, he locked the door. His usual smile was unsettling, his voice dripping with fake kindness. "You're such a bright girl, Aisha. But intelligence isn't enough in this world. Sometimes you need to cooperate with those in power," he said, moving closer. Unknown to him, everything was being recorded. When Aisha walked out of that office an hour later, she went straight to Mr. Ade and handed him the device. Tears filled her eyes, but she knew she had done what needed to be done. That night, Mr. Ade and Daniel released the recording on social media. Within hours, it had spread like wildfire. Parents, teachers, students, and even government officials were horrified. The school was in chaos the next morning. Journalists flooded the entrance, and by noon, police officers arrived. Mr. SiKiRU, still oblivious to the storm brewing outside, was arrested right in his office. His face, once so full of authority, was now pale with fear. Parents of the victims came forward, emboldened by the evidence. One after another, testimonies poured out, painting a picture of years of abuse. By the end of the week, he had been formally charged and the school board announced his immediate dismissal. A government investigation was launched, uncovering more victims and exposing a network of enablers who had looked the other way. With Mr. SiKiRU gone, the school began a long process of healing. Counselors were brought in to help the victims, and new policies were implemented to ensure that no student would ever be left unprotected again. As for Aisha, she became a symbol of courage. She had not only saved herself, but had also given a voice to those who had suffered in silence. And Mr. SiKiRU? He spent the rest of his days behind bars, his reputation shattered, his power stripped away. No longer did the school fall silent at 2 p.m. The hour of fear had been replaced by an hour of hope, where students felt safe once again.